as we are going on nearly 24 hours without power for at least a third of Texans statewide, millions desperately trying to find ways to stay warm. Good morning, I'm Tom Miller.
I'm Sally Hernandez. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We can tell you that the Texas National Guard, the troops are heading out across the state to help check on people who are still without power. And according to PowerOutages.us, right now we have nearly 4 million Texans without power. That is 1/3 of the nearly 12.5 million customers tracked. Here in Austin, we've been updating the numbers for you throughout the morning for the past 2 hours, and we can tell you that Austin Energy customers, 46% of Encore customers do not have power. 40% of Austin Energy customers without power. Perdonalis, about 34% of its area customers do not have power as well. And then 16% of Bluebonnet customers in the area waking up still in the dark.
And this marks the second morning that hundreds of thousands of Central Texans are waking up without power in the dark. Their houses are freezing cold.
KXAN's Nabil Ramana is telling us what it's like for people who are trying their best to keep warm. We just heard an interview from Austin Travis County EMS, Nabil, and he was talking about just how so many people are desperately trying to stay warm.
Absolutely dangerous conditions. You know, I talked to a number of people yesterday and last night who had been without power for hours, even days at this point, and they're wondering when that power will come back on. You can see the sun coming up behind me, hoping that that will maybe melt some of these roadways, because the people that I spoke to said that they were trapped in their homes. They didn't feel comfortable getting out and driving, and that's certainly understandable with all the things that we've seen out on the road, the crashes, the accidents. So people are essentially trapped in their homes without power in some situations. Now, again, I did talk to a number of people yesterday. 2 people I spoke with said they had young children. One has a a newly born child that's only about a month old, and they said that the conditions in their home, the temperatures were so low that they had to get out.
It was literally 30 degrees in our house, you know, and we had our baby bundled up and stuff like that, and it got to the point where it was kind of dangerous to just stay there with our little one, you know.
We couldn't maintain, you know, a decent temperature in the house, and you know, fortunately, my folks had power, so we migrated over here, and we wanted to do it during the daylight before trying to make that trek later at night when it would be even more difficult to get over here.
Now, Jake, that you heard from there, said that he left his house in South Austin, actually went over to Del Valley where his aunt lived to try to get into a warmer house. But when he got there, the power was out as well. He said that they have been going out to their cars every once in a while, just kind of sitting there, warming up a little bit, charging their phones, and then coming back inside. But again, you can just see how dire these situations are. People with young children, maybe the elderly, having to deal with these freezing cold temperatures. And then again, Martin, that you heard from there, he said that he didn't want to get out and drive, but he drove down to his parents' house that live pretty close by, and they have power. So as you can see, a number of people, again, 42% of Austin Energy customers still without power, and who knows when all that power will be restored, but hopefully it'll be very soon. Guys, back to you.
Yeah, 42%, Nabil. So many people in difficult situations this morning. Thank you for your reporting.